Hey YouTube, welcome to my channel. Yeah, we're gonna get right back into it and keep coding up these trading algorithms. Um, I'm creating an encompassing paper to help with refreshing, basically mapping out every single move the market can make in terms of math, if that makes sense. Maybe it doesn't, but I can show you what I made here with Claude. Um, so that's not it. Yeah, basically you want to get, uh, here it is. So the complete mathematical category of market microstructure, every predictable price movement from microseconds to minutes. Um, Apparently there was 47 according to Claude, and I'm going to run it through Grok to see what he has to say about it. Let's see, because I just did that. Let's see if it refreshed here. And then we'll get ChatGPT's opinion on it. And then we'll make a giant document here. And then we can compress the knowledge and pick and choose which movements that we're going to want to pull from. So, yeah. So we're just mapping out what we want to design in an algorithm first. And then we'll code it up. Once you have it down in words, coding it's going to be easy. So, yes, I gave Grok this entire 47 things here. Let's see what it says about it. Okay. The algo's edge, systematic advantage over random trading, stems from exploiting microstructure inefficiencies. Okay. I actually don't think this is what. I think that was the code. Okay. It's on my phone here, but I don't think it's transferred over to Grok just yet. So let's see. Oh, here it is. Okay. All right, we will make a giant document here. So first off, we'll make sure that we're getting the right paper here. Wait, sorry. If there were chats, let me see. This is too much math. This has to be high frequency trading. My man, you don't need to know any of the math actually. So when, in terms of designing an algorithm with the tools at hand, which is AI, you actually really don't need to understand any of the math. You just need to know how to guide it. So I don't understand that equation, but you can translate this equation into English and understand it that way. So this has never been done before. No one's really ever learned how to trade or to use AI to make trading algorithms. It's a completely new tool. So we're mapping this out completely brand new to everyone. I understand it's too much math, but if you understood what a trading algorithm is, it's just pure math. This is just the purest form of math. These price movements happen because of math, right? So we're going to have to work with math in order to trade profitably on the market. So unfortunately, math is our tool here. And thankfully, AI is really good at math. So I can't high frequency trade, but I could simulate it. I could make a fake order book, simulated data, do my own matching engine, train an AI on synthetic data. I could do high frequency trading and then maybe co-locate a server later on down the road. But right now, the end goal is to project the edge past at least 2 seconds because my latency on Hyperlquid is around 1.4 seconds. So unfortunately, I mean, making a trade every 5 seconds, I guess that's pretty frequent, but that's not high frequency. But yeah, any other questions, dude? I'm here to answer. Yeah. I mean, literally my prompt for this was like, I just need the market mapped out. Give me all the moves that you can do with math. And it was pretty simple prompt, but you get pretty high quality stuff. And then we'll take this document and then we'll probably condense it down into the best math, the biggest moves that we want to, we're not gonna have some sort of math that's looking at like 1 bip or like 2 bips. Like that won't be profitable for my situation. So we'll condense it, but I'll show you what I'm doing here. So basically I'm just getting a bunch of text in there. Okay, let's see what Grok had to say. The complete math. Okay, Grok AI assisted review focusing on mathematical work. Okay, this is ambitious and comprehensive manuscript. Okay, strength, comprehensive scope for. Okay, mathematical elegance. Okay. Over ambition. All right. So that wasn't perfect, but we'll just put it in there and we'll see what ChatGPT thinks. It might be too long for it. No, not yet. Okay. Yes. So I did have I had ChatGPT make me an algorithm earlier today. Yep, this one. And we'll start testing the code. Not too confident this one is going to be good, but yep. Okay. All right, so we will just run it, see if it runs, and then we will iterate and keep pushing for the best. We're in search of the holy grail algorithm. That's what we want. We don't want no simple algorithm. And we also don't want to over engineer it. The holy grail algorithm would be probably, we'll have to push into AI, but I want to first push the max capability of traditional math, like CPU bound math, so that if I do push this to a co-located server or into the cloud, the math is efficient. I can run it cheap. There's no GPUs needed. So we'll run with traditional. I say traditional because there's like you focus on the GPU or you focus on the CPU when it comes to doing this math. And the GPU is a very specific type of math. It's really good at AI stuff. So where's my thing? So I do plan, like that's when it, because right now I have 1.4 second latency, which is not good. If I push to the cloud and then get that latency down to maybe 500 milliseconds and lower, yeah, I wouldn't push to the cloud just for the sake of freeing up like resources on my computer. It's about getting the latency down. It's all about co-locating the server next to the exchanges server. That's what I mean by pushing it to the cloud. I wouldn't just push it to some random cloud and then just like hope that the server is there, or it wouldn't make sense because my internet's probably just as quick. But yeah, I do want to push it to the cloud one day. Right now, you don't need to. Like retail people and anyone at home can. Yeah, I'm not there yet. Like I'm not co-locating high frequency strategies just yet. Like we're focusing on just making it work on my computer first off, and then pushing it to the. Then you go in a series of steps, right? Once you make a profitable algorithm that can handle your latency at home, then you can move towards, oh, I have more capital. I can push more trades. I can trade more frequently. Okay, let's remove the latency. It costs a lot of money to do that co-location stuff because first off, you got to figure out where those servers are. You probably have to pay someone to figure out that. Probably have to pay to test different servers, spinning up one here in the East region, spinning up another server in the other region, running their latency tests, right? You would end up spending a lot of money trying to figure out which is the best server to use. But let's see what ChatGPT said. Okay. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to feed it back. Okay, we're going to feed it back through Grok, I guess. We're fine. Beyond, let's say 5 seconds. Full PhD paper. All right, we're gonna refine this here. So once I have this paper, we're going to figure out, we're just gonna keep refining it down until we get to the math that we wanna code up in our strategy. And then I'll probably ask it to kind of do, like, basically make the math better. Maybe since it can see that it's just normal. I asked for novel math. Like, I don't want to test something that's already kind of out there. But we're basically mapping out every move in the market. So all of these sort of candlesticks, they all have some sort of mathematical formula. So this was probably some liquidation event. So we know for sure that was it was a fake out, right? It broke all-time high and then liquidated everyone, swept it down. This is looking like support, right? You can see the wick. So all these events, right? When this price action came down here, the order book had a series of the order book looked a particular way. For example, it showed the mathematical equation for support, right? All this can be mapped out into math. It's just pure mathematics at this point when you're looking at this. K-line data is unfortunately it's not. I tried making a strategy with K-line data, but it's just so much better to have the WebSocket data. It really does make it better. You're so limited with just the K-line. But it does show, right? Like price definitely tried to push there and there was a lot of buying. Price tried to push down, they bought up. Well, now it's trying to push up but selling off. So it's in a range down here. But we're gonna map every little move. Every little move here. Okay. Where was I here? All right. Let's see what Grok's got for us. Okay. Do another document. And where's my water? Okay. If I don't use K-line. Okay, let me explain something here. We have the K-line data is essentially this, right? This is 1 minute K-line data. You can go refine it more to seconds. So that's 100 milliseconds, that's 500 milliseconds. 1 minute is I would consider noisy, right? So when you look at a candlestick, this is a compressed representation of the WebSocket data. So essentially, or it's just I guess, a compressed version of the tick level data. So every order that came in within this sort of 60 seconds. So it's compressed knowledge. It's not as granular. So when you're doing these mathematics, there is legitimate formulas that predict the market 300, 400 milliseconds, like very quick math that predict the next move. If the sell wall disappears and then some buy orders come in, there is a high frequency trader taking advantage of that order and flow imbalance, and they're able to get a couple bips. So this is happening over and over and over again. So with 1 minute K-line data, you're not capable of now if you want to look at the data, yeah, 1 minute K-line was designed for humans to look at. Now I can't look at the WebSocket data. I could show you what that looks like here. That pulls 1 minute of high frequency data from Binance. I can show you, or I could just show you what it looks like. Yeah, so there's levels to this, right? When you look at the chart, you're looking, this is even delayed too, right? I'm gonna show you, okay, so I need a script that shows raw WebSocket data from Binance. Let's say BTC, USDT, perp in terminal. Subscribe to max order book and tick level at the quickest level, Python. So what I'm going to show you is the difference of granularity. Every minute you see here could be tens of thousands of different trades. And obviously you see that in the volume candle. But at the end of the day, this is just a compressed version of the WebSocket data. And working with the raw high frequency data is going to give you an advantage, because every trader is looking at this, but they're looking at essentially the shadow of the market, right? They're looking at the after effects. When you see the fine grain high frequency data and you're using computers to do math on that to predict price, you're going to get ahead. So I will get a little script up here to just show the WebSocket data here. Let's see, what do we got? Okay, K-line. All right, we'll do it in here. Okay. We'll do let's just do web.py. Okay. Yep. What do I need here? Oh, WebSocket. All right, we'll run it. We'll run it live here. So it's a JSON format. So this is what I'm talking about, right? I guess it's just showing you already here. So this is what tick level data looks like. You're getting more data about the time, the symbol, you're getting the trade ID, you're getting the price, you're getting the quantity, was it a buyer, was it a seller? You're getting, every trade that comes in has more granular data. And then not only do you have tick level data where it's like, oh, is this a buy, is this a sell? You're gonna have an order book that kind of shows you where the market will end up moving if these orders come in. And there's a whole bunch of, it's essentially market physics. You're kind of finding the physics of the market, mapping that out to math, and then trying to predict how the physics will react. It's kind of like gravity. You drop a ball, but that ball might bounce a little bit. You might be able to trade those aftershocks. But yeah, many people don't know about WebSocket data because they just never cared to think about it. And most people trade off of they don't even look at 1 minute candle. They're looking at more like 4 hour plus, because it does give you a better idea of the market. But yep, all this is math. So it looks like that I broke that trend. All right, let's go back to here. Let's just see what this looks like. Python web.py. Okay, this is what I'm talking about, right? Now we're getting a nice little, so I can't actually go 1 second here. But just look at how much more data I'm getting, right? There's barely any movement, but I'm getting a ton more data. And it's just flowing in. This is how the market moves, is with this data on the left. This K-line stuff, like this chart, is just a visual representation of this left side data. It's the shadow of it too, because this is probably going through their server, and there's some sort of latency, and then the JavaScript is rendering this candlestick. So there's probably even more latency involved in trading from TradingView as well. You want to just stream the direct data. But yeah, so that's what I'm talking about, right? This is the WebSocket data. And this is where all of the math, so all of, where was I making the math here? So yeah, this whole paper is designed to use this data on the left here and map out every little inefficiency, or whatever you want to call it. Essentially, it's trying to predict the price from these sort of order book and tick level data. It's pretty simple to think about. And yeah, it might look like a lot of math, but I don't know this equation. All I know is I can get this WebSocket data, and I know how to use AI to my advantage. And I'm just guiding it in the right direction. And at the end of the day, I'll know. It's pretty simple to know if the math is working, because it'll be profitable. So, which is the greatest thing, right? If I was running some esoteric sort of like physics experiment, and I was like trying to use AI to find new laws of physics, it'd be really hard, because I'd have to run the experiment. But with code, I could run it right away and understand, oh, it's profitable. So that math obviously checks out. So, and for the most part, there's no one smart enough to do any of this stuff. So everyone has access to some crazy level of intelligence, and you can use it to make some money. That's the whole point here. So we have this document. Let's see. Is this better? We'll get ChatGPT's opinion here on that. So I'll stop this. But at the end of the day, so this is mostly order book. So you connect, so it's 100 milliseconds of data. I want to know if I can get the there's even quicker data than this. That's called a binary stream, and you need like C++ code in order. So this is even limited. So at 100 milliseconds. So it goes even more fine grained than what I just saw here, but this is good enough. Like, people pay a lot of money to get this sort of data for other markets. So, okay, short answer, yes, this is a big step. You nailed it. Main issues: you moved into a clean continuous time kernel, view toned, must fix math implementation. Yeah, so yeah, we'll just continue coding up these algorithms. Get rid of that. And all right, so clearly ChatGPT is okay. Now we'll get the ChatGPT's PhD paper, because it's superior in mathematics apparently than Grok. Okay, so I tried using K-line to make some sophisticated algorithm, but at the end of the day, it's kind of a waste of time. This is for like beginner level sort of, oh, I ran a back test on this sort of data. This is not price prediction at all. This is not going to give me the edge that I need to compete. So we're going to shut down K-line, and we're going to go back to my, go back to live paper here. What was I going on here? Okay. There's a lot of code in this one. But we'll probably end up deleting all of it. Yeah. Yeah, that's getting deleted. We'll have config. Let's have like main. Cool. Where was I making that other one? I don't remember. All good. All right, let's get the complete mathematical category. Cartography. Okay, the complete mathematical cartography of the market microstructure for every predictable price movement from microseconds to minutes. Okay. So we've added a couple more. We went from 47 to 49 mathematical formulas. It's a good idea to understand like what we can map out here, because at the end of the day, you are limited to the order book and the tick data. And there's certain math formulas that are going to predict the price. And then you just kind of wire these up together and you got yourself an algorithm and you test it out and then you keep iterating. So hidden liquidity icebergs. Okay, so we will take this. Okay. And then I'm gonna just like give it more context, but I want to get this into a new document there. Math, I'm gonna call it math there. So, all right. Okay. Trying to figure out how I can create. Actually, I have this one. Fully refactoring code file here to test all the math in the paper and choose the most impactful ones that will make money. Profitable. Okay, so I'm just going to use this code as the starter. Let's see if this even runs here. Okay, it's having some trouble connecting. Yeah, the mainnet. Is it Hype though? I forgot what coin. Or is it Hyper? Forget. So it might not be connecting because it's not an actual coin. I guess we can just do Hyper. Does that work? No, it's Hype. No, it's called Hype for sure. All right. Our factory single, so I can compute compact. Okay. All right. So we implemented forces that you can compute from your current feeds, no extra API. So we got F1, F3, F4, F6, F28, F4. Okay. So we added a couple more. All right, there's some risk management. So at the end of the day, you take your math that predicts, you wire that up into a decision engine, and you throw some sort of risk management on it, and you run it live. You run it paper trade, see if it works, and if it gives you good data, then run it live. And then you can get more data from it. But it's a continual process here. And yeah, AI has changed the game for this. Like, I can do the most sophisticated work without really having to know about it. I just force the AI to do the sophisticated work. I don't need to really understand it. I just need to know, does it work? Doesn't work? Okay, iterate. Of course, you can, I like using a bunch of different AIs to get different opinions here. So let's see if I can do that. I'll wait for this. Yep, yeah, anyone can start this right now. I'm doing literally nothing special. I'm not typing any of the code. I just happen to choose Hyperliquid to trade on. People could trade on IBKR. You can go as sophisticated as you want with like stocks, futures, options, right? I'm just choosing crypto because the data is free and it's really easy to trade leverage with. So, and it's plenty of volatility and it runs 24/7. It gives me a decent latency. And it's not costing me a ton of money. So that's kind of the whole thing, right? You want to just get good at making algorithms, good at understanding it, good at essentially guiding the AI to make better algorithms. Like that's the whole point here, right? You don't need to fully understand what's going on. But I do immerse myself. Like, I know enough to where I knew where to guide the AI. So you need to be semi-aware of what's going on, right? So no one would have known to guide the AI to be like, hey, take the API data, take the WebSocket data, convert it into this math, right? You have to be very specific to get good results. And yeah, so that's what you do here. That's what we're doing every day in, day out, until we make the profitable algorithm, okay? And it'll be all live, all right? So everyone can trade it if you can recreate my work, but it's all out there. It's all out there, and I'll share it with y'all. I don't really care. But the goal is traditional based algorithm, CPU only. Then we're going to move on to AI based algorithm. So like deep learning. We're going to have to do the train, inference, then retrain on data that so there's going to be a whole pipeline for this AI trading bot. That's going to be unique. Yeah, I don't see anyone doing it on YouTube the way I'm doing it here. I'm taking it to the peak level of quant. This is what they're doing in the secret back rooms of like Jane Street and Goldman Sachs, or whatever, like those high frequency trading. They're scheming up sophisticated strategies to just run their I guess they're probably using C++. Actually, I think Jane Street is using, one of them uses like a weird COBOL. I forgot which, I don't even care. That probably is not good for them. Probably not, they're probably not able to do the level of iteration, sophistication. Never tried coding in COBOL. But yeah, once we have the ability to go lower latency, then I'll move into probably Rust-based algorithms. But right now, Python is going to be plenty of ability. Like no, I'm self-taught. I do this in my free time. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, so I've been prompting AI. So I kind of learned I wanted to become a coder, but then in 2022, ChatGPT came out. And then ever since then, I've been essentially vibe coding. I kind of saw the writing on the wall. It's like, okay, so this is completely changing. I no longer need to memorize the code. I just need to be smart enough to guide my tool to where I want it. So that's kind of the whole paradigm shift. I can get any knowledge I want and get as sophisticated with that knowledge just by prompting AI. So everyone has the capabilities to do the most sophisticated knowledge work. So the game has changed. We're here doing it at the highest level. Yeah. No, I'm not a retired. I wish I was a retired quant dev. No, I have a normal job. I'm in the Air Force. Like I just got off work. I'm live streaming because I'm trying to build a community of people who want to do this. It's the whole point. Oh, see, they forgot NumPy. Here is an error. Actually, I don't want to do that. I know, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to, let's use this. Let's use this to fix the errors. Wait, did I? Yep, so everyone's got the ability of what I'm doing right now. It's all about, are you putting it to work? And actually, most people have like kind of are not using AI properly. They're using it for like little thing here, little thing there, and they're letting it like kind of prompt itself. But when you get involved in your work and you prompt it properly, it speeds up the sophistication very quickly and it gets really, really good. So unfortunately, I'm just a self-taught quant dev here, doing it at the highest level. In reality, like a retired quant dev would not be sharing this work because it's very secretive for them. Their edge is the most important thing, right? They can't let anyone else trade their edge because it'll decay. But you can create an edge that more than likely won't decay because it's that sophisticated. It's designed not to decay. And actually, maybe I can design an algorithm that actually gets better when more people run it, adding more liquidity to it. So there's ways to move around the sort of secrecy, but I'm sharing all the knowledge up front. Sharing all the details here. It's out there for people. But I don't see anyone doing this. Like when I see someone like making an algorithm, they're like using RSI, like they're using K-line data to, do their little algorithm, but that's ultimately, that will not work. That will lose you money. You need to be working with the data that I'm working with, and you need to be working with the best AIs, the frontier models. Okay, let's reset that. Okay, we're gonna get the full code from Gemini, and then we'll try and run it. And then we'll probably make this a little bit more modular so that we can tune it better. I mean, this is the big piece of code here, 1,300 lines of code. So yeah, we could probably get these config files up into another. We'll make it more modular just to maintain it better. But I need to get it running. We need to get some data on it, and we need to quickly iterate. We need to flush out what's wrong with this. And I found that actually telling the AI to be very critical of their code, like they'll output code and they'll be like, hey, review their code and be very critical of it. They'll roast their own code and figure out, oh, like, yeah, my bias kind of showed. This is what I did wrong. Oh, come on. What happened there? Okay. So now Gemini has its own little errors. Yeah, this is not allowed. What are they doing? This is unauthorized. All right. ChatGPT needs to come in and save the day. Maybe Gemini doesn't have the full knowledge here to fix this. Okay. So we'll get the answer and they'll be, hey, make this into config. We'll make it more modular. We'll do like decision engine. Okay. Into what, like config.py decision engine, or config engine risk features. Code files in chat. Okay. We're gonna get this going. All right. I'm a retired quant dev, showing everyone online the secrets. Nope. We're here doing it live as a hobby. But I don't see anyone YouTube doing this. Like, you can't even find any information on, oh, what's order flow and balance, all the stuff that what most people focus on is like indicators that you can visually see, which is, it's okay, but the game has fundamentally changed. Everyone can code now. Like, that is for real. That's the real deal. Anyone can code in English or in any language, actually. So the fact that everyone has access to the ability to code at the highest level just opened it up. Anyone can make the most sophisticated sort of software. And then you'll end up seeing people using this to make, like, web dev stuff, and like it's kind of boring. Web dev is cool, but it's all the same. It's all the same stuff. Like, this is way more interesting to work on. I feel like way more interesting. Super interesting. And every time a new model comes out, that just upgrades my ability to have more sophistication in the features and the ability for the AI to give me a better algorithm. So at the end of the day, all you need to know is how to just run Python code, which is, you can find that on YouTube for sure. Oh. Okay. So now that we're going to make it modular, it'll be easier to just, I don't have to have it output the full block of code. So I'm more of a person that says, hey, give me the full piece of code from the AI. And if the issues are in features only, then it'll just have to give me the features file, not have to print out the whole thing again. So it'll save us time when iterating. Because it's all about running it, getting the errors, the data, running it again, fixing it, running it again, fixing it, you know. It's all about that little loop. That loop is the best. Oh. Just sent me a message. Who in the heck is this? Okay.
Psychiatrists are working about a new phenomenon called AI psychosis. It's real and it's spreading fast. It's one person's conversation.
Wait. Did it finish? All right, so we were on features. We're going to delete main. Utils. Okay. Indicators. Market. Okay. Got features. That's probably where we left off. Okay. Risk. Gonna go broker. Oh yeah, so this is gonna be Hyperlquid specific stuff, I assume. Strategy. Ah, okay, this one's not done yet. Cool.
Special Ben, we're very special. Ben, you're the most special person I've ever existed. To give you feedback loop, and it's random where you get something to you. Psychiatrist.
Okay. What do we got here? We got the strategy. All right. And then client. We'll see if this runs. It'd be pretty amazing if it just ran. Oh, okay, then we got main. Okay, how do we actually run this? Probably through main. Let's see. Python main. Kept all core math and behavior, moved them in cleanly. Okay, indicators. All right, feature engine. What? I typed that in wrong. Oh no. Python main.py. Cool. Something's up with this. Cool. time to lock in and get this dialed for Hype. Now, the reason why I'm choosing Hypecoin or Hyperliquid's coin is because when you're dealing with like, for example, Bitcoin being traded on Hyperliquid, that's not the true source of price discovery for that coin. Yeah, there's a lot of volume, but what you're actually seeing is Binance leading majority of the coin's movements. For example, Bitcoin, and then of course Bitcoin is kind of leading all the other coins. But you want to go to the true source of where the price action is. So that order book and that tick level data is the true source of the price discovery of a coin. And essentially, everyone's looking at Binance and then they're arbitraging on Hyperliquid. And what you're seeing is just the arbitrage high frequency bots doing that on Hyperliquid's order book data. But when you trade the coin on Hyperliquid, that's the true source of price discovery for that coin on Hyperliquid. And it's plenty liquid, plenty of opportunity for trading and volatility. So that was kind of my theory on, but actually what I'll end up doing is I'll definitely build another bot that looks at Binance data, but then places trades on Hyperliquid. And actually, when you look at Ethereum, you have a significant arbitrage capabilities there when you look at Binance and trade on Hyperliquid, but the issue is the execution. So it's usually like 200, 300 milliseconds, and it's a lot of sell side arbitrage opportunity. So when Binance kind of sells off, then Hyperliquid will follow. So there's a whole bunch of different edges we can exploit on the markets. But I just want to get like kind of like a really solid, just turn it on 24 hours, don't have to worry about it, don't have to worry about any sort of crazy moves taking it out. Just want a solid algorithm to run. And then we can go more niche into, you know, arbitrage strategies and other things that require higher or lower latency. Right now, we just want to get a solid 2-second plus latency bot going. That's the goal here. And Hype is the way to go. All right, let's see what happened here. Client is now fixed. All right. I think it, yeah. Let's get the client file. And then we'll run it, collect the data, and then analyze the data. What we're doing here. And then I'll work on developing a better strategy. So this will be, we just need some sort of baseline that's semi-profitable. That we can just run it, collect it, the data, and then work from there. It's a solid framework. It's kind of like we want a template for all other algorithms that we're going to iterate on. So this is looking pretty solid, not too many features. Let's see. Let us see if it works. Okay, we're gonna get Hypecoin mainnet, and there we go. We're gonna start. So that was weird. All right, we are going to copy this. We're going to go into a new we're gonna view code optimized for my system specs. We're gonna grab the context here. We're gonna get my system spec doc. We're gonna go in here. We're gonna do that. Okay. We need to do a little optimization. Never perfect when you first run it. This is throwing me off where it's like rerunning main. Although it's working still, but we'll give it optimization. No trades have been made yet. Ideally, we would be collecting these sort of indicator stats in another CSV. And then while this is running, I can open a new terminal and run a edge extraction script where it could look at how these indicators are working live. So there's kind of just a dual, you just got to be constantly analyzing the data, constantly probing it, constantly giving the data, the fresh data to the AI. And yeah, that's just the way to do it. This is the highest level you can do it at right now. I don't know. I mean, obviously you can have less latency, but that doesn't change the fact that we're coding the most sophisticated algorithms that you can. Besides AI. Now, AI will be, I'm also limited in that because I have a 5070 Ti, so we'll have to work around, we'll do our workarounds. I'm trying to think, should I go? Can I go live on TikTok as well at the same time? That's the real deal. That's the real question. That's the real question. Can I do it? Can we do that? Can we do that? Okay, we got that. Is this messing with anything else here? No, I'm still live. Still coding up this here. Where are we at? Where are we at? Okay. It's figuring itself out. Now the question is, need to add a source. Camera. No. Delete that. We will add source. Phone camera. Camera. Add. Not that one. How would I use, I could probably do phone camera. Hey, I'm trying to build the community here, dude. Okay? It's a view is a view. Okay. I know it's like it's more ideal to be on YouTube because people are usually on their computer. But it's all right, we need output full code files. I might not be able to do it, okay? Don't be hating on TikTok. We need to get the brain rot into the quant dev too. Okay. We need to elevate people's minds. do USB cable, except always. Is it gonna work? No. Shit. Fresh. I could just do Wi-Fi. Yeah. Yeah, we might be able to do this here. Well, upload code files for files that need fixing. Oh, he wants to do GPU. Oh. What are you trying to do here? What you doing here? Okay, strategy. All right, so we can, some of the code or some of the strategy can be offloaded to the GPU, which I'm cool with since I have that GPU. So no trades were taken. Something's going on with strategy. Guard off. Yeah, I need a tripod. Find one. Cool. All right. I got my tripod. Oh. Got the tripod here. Right? No, we want it like that. All right, well, this is not working. But I do have a solution. Okay. Solution has been acquired. All right, we got to fix broker here. Okay, we got broker, client. We got client, config. Okay, and then indicators. Ooh, that doesn't look super on there. Market. Market. We got strategy. That's a big one. Cool. Okay. that. Okay. It's almost perfect there. Okay. Now, I go there. I'm going to scan QR code. QR code here. Yep, open link. Did the strategy finish? It did. Okay. We'll run it. Of course, there's errors. Yeah, I did that. Okay. We're gonna confirm. Okay. All right. Well, let's see here. Yeah, that worked out. Flip that. Rotate, rotate, rotate. Put me in the corner here. Then we will advance filter. All right, we need to fix my code here. While I try going TikTok Live. All right, play. Okay. Let's see if that works. OBS. Okay, and then I will share the screen with the TikTok Live. Nope. All right. I think we did it. Crazy. Live on both platforms now. And my internet is still good. So, all right, let's keep pushing here. We're going to keep pushing for this. Get the context. And then we had this error. See what ChatGPT thinks. Now I need this to be charging as well. All right. Get the answer here. You're bumping into WebSocket version mismatch. Oh no. Yes. So client. Give me the client file. Give me that file. We're still green there. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I want this fully. There we go. That. But we can put me in the corner here. Good. Client side. Okay. We're gone. All right. Now we can think about adding another. So we're trading hype. Hype. Let's see. Now I want to get as accurate as possible. So we will new incognito. We'll go to Hyperlquid. And then we'll go to perpetuals. So 1 minute. Okay. Running that. Running it live. So it hasn't taken any trades. I'm going to copy this. It does look pretty flat though for, we did miss this move. That was like 5 minutes ago. So going to put that in there. And yeah. So now it's all about just aligning the stats or the features and all that stuff up, aligning them up properly so that they can fire off a trade. But we will get another script in here where it kind of records this data and then I can analyze it later to see what's going wrong. Cool. All right, great. The WebSocket is fixed. The reason you're not getting entries is the volatility floor gate. Okay. So the router never allows entries. 2 quick ways to proceed. Okay. I need, in addition to this fix, I need the data stats, like from the alpha stats recorded on another CSV, so I can run another data analysis script on it to extract more fine-grained understanding of the edge and strategy we cool. Okay. So this has not made any trades. And it's unfortunate that phone camera. Lame. Well, okay. I guess they don't need to see me. They can just see the screen there. All they get. We're gonna delete that. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that works out. I'll bring that forward. Cool. All right, we got config. Got config ready. We're gonna do strategy. And then any other file, maybe? No? Okay. All right, I'll run it back. Run it back here. Alpha stats. Okay, that's exactly what we wanted. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So now that we have this file getting, see, it's still not making trades. We need to figure that out. Need to figure that out. Why not making trades? Grab the context. We'll grab some terminal data here. We will put that in there. We'll grab the alpha stats. Not going to grab all of it. We'll just take a couple. Review the map. Ensure we are at and that the code is It's all there. Cool. But did the, oops. Actually don't need volume. Okay. Okay. Get the AI's response. Keep building. And then this is probably where I'm going to bring back this sort of data. What algo strategy would you create to maximize profits for Easter way 10x futures crypto? With a ACK latency. Actually, I can pull. See, it's always important to have this file. Forgot where I have it. Where is it? Is it ArbStats? Notepad? No, that's not it, but pings? No. All right, it's definitely in this arbitrage folder. So I'll open that back up. I need my info. Yeah, right here. Summary, new file. Okay, this is going to be key information. And then okay, you have a question here. Does the profit matter in developing the strategy? I think it's better to improve the win rate. Okay, so when essentially we're trying to maximize profitability, but you do need to be really specific in that. So win rate, essentially I'm developing the strategy to focus on essentially this latency. So I need my strategy to beat or to produce an edge that will at least last over 2 seconds. And then the hit rate versus just profitability, like I need my algorithm to take in consideration that latency. Then also it needs to take in consideration slippage. It needs to take in consideration the fees. And if I focus on hit rate and not actually focus on the edge that essentially is profitable, then I can hit trades. But then if those trades are only 1 BIP, 2 BIP, then I'll get eaten alive by fees. So that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So you need to actually focus on a whole dimensional aspect of profitability. When I say profitability, you need to understand the latency, you need to understand the fees and the slippage. And all of this is actually programmed into the paper trade code that I have here. So I'm trying to get as accurate as possible trading conditions when live. So I need to focus on beating my fees and latency. That's the edge that I'm going to be able to profit from. And at the end of the day, yeah, I'm trying to maximize profit. So I will probably end up, well, I don't know what we'll end up. We'll see. But at the end of the day, that's kind of my thought process in this. I wish hit rate was. I can make an algo that shows a 90% hit rate, but it's not going to be. I'm not going to be able to use it because it takes in consideration the that it executes on the exchange immediately. So that wouldn't be even usable. Because the arbitrage between the Binance and Hyperliquid, there's a real edge where you can look at the Binance data and basically short every time Binance dips. And yep, and there's a real edge there if you can execute the trade within 300 milliseconds. But at the end of the day, I'm not able to do that. But what was I doing here? Oh yeah, we're gonna get Grok's opinion on what it would design from these ideas. So I'm just saying maximize profits. I'm gonna give it that, and then we're gonna do that. We're gonna give it that. And we'll just prompt it with that to get it going. But at the end of the day, what was I was over here. Oh, okay. Okay. Your Microsoft math is basically sound, but the two logic choices make the strategy almost never trade. See, there we go. So I've been having a lot of issues where we're overly protective of capital when trading, and so trades never get fired off. So we'll fix that and we'll get some trades fired off here. Remove okay, fix the code, output full code files that need fixing. Cool. So yeah, this is what I talk about when you're tuning the strategy, right? Our math is sound, but at the end of the day, it never hit for any trade. So we'll have to run it back. But this data is invaluable. Now, what I can do with this data that we've collected, it's essentially, well, there's a lot of zeros here. This is concerning for me. What is that trying to look at? Position, okay. So those zeros are position stats. That's why they're zero, because nothing ever was traded. Okay. So now with this data, I'm going to ask the AI, hey, look at my alpha stats and print out a summary of what, because at the end of the day, I need to get a concise, dense, token-aware knowledge to copy paste into ChatGPT so that it can see what I'm running. So that's kind of like the whole thing. I'm using my tools, and my whole work process is revolving around getting the data into the AI and the AI spitting out the ideas. So I'm just kind of there. I'm just, I'm the assistant to the AI. But yeah. Okay. Got this. Gemini code has been updated. All right. Let's see here. So that was, what was that file? This is features. We got config. All right, so we're gonna have to tune these. Tune safely. And then this is gonna be features. All right. Let's see what. Oh, wow. Making a move to the upside. Come on. Come on. See, that would have been great to have seen, but I didn't catch it. It's all good. I guess it's good to see the support too. Let's make sure I'm not going to have like a tornado. All right. See, we got 23 views. TikTok Live's where it's at. I even have to show my face. All right. Did we get the file yet? No, we didn't. So long. All right. Features might have to be broken up into specific math. Might have to make that a little bit more modular. Okay, so the alpha stats is going to take in all of these data. That's good. Oh, wait. So this is features. Okay. And strategy. Okay, this is like the decision engine. All right, let's see what that does. Oof. Oof. Strategy. Input error. All right, let's go back to Grok, and I think it thought to maximize profits. All design an algorithmic approach grounded in the provided microstructure framework. This framework decomposes predictable price drifts into 49 forces convolved with normalized decay kernels, synthesized via partial correlation weights for horizons from 5 seconds to 30 minutes. Okay, good. So that it understood that I have this latency, and it needs to design around that issue. Assumptions, access to required. Yes, we have. I actually don't know what frequency I know for a fact that we can get 100 milliseconds on Binance. I don't know the frequency that Hyperlquid comes in. It might just come in when it comes in. So it might not actually have a frequency. But we can figure that out pretty quickly through a Gemini search. What frequency is Hyperlquid WebSocket data? Cool, 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 cool. All right, we got level 10 of order book. Okay, multi-horizon blending, position size and leverage, execution. All right, we're gonna get it. We're gonna like your idea and be predictable. All right, we'll just get Grok thinking about that. And then we will go back here. Config. Got config. All right, guys. We're gonna run it. We're running it. We will see if okay. So it looks like we'll probably curl over there. Oh, you know what? Okay. I don't want my data to be kind of corrupted with non-fresh data. Okay. Cool. All right, now we'll see if it takes a trade, and then we'll see how we can improve it. We'll get a couple opinions of different AIs and see like, oh, this won't be profitable or this will be profitable. We shall see. Okay, so we got 22 bips of spread. Tick is 1. Trade 0 though, so still no trades. Trigger a trade. Let's just ask you like, okay, what kind of price action, what are we looking at for it to actually make a trade here? It's like, how will the math align? And you'll realize that AI, it doesn't even need to actually run this. It could, in theory, run in its head and do the math and kind of, so like you'll see here, it knows what will trigger the trade. When a long is triggered, it needs a cluster of microstructure up signals that stays alive for greater than 0.3 seconds. Aggressive buys and ask cancels dominate at the top of the book. Okay. I see where it's going now. It's looking for a high probability move to the upside or to the downside. Only if all of those above. Okay, so we're going to look for aggressive buys and ask cancels dominate the top of the book. So this is only when a long is triggered in this code. Okay, depth and imbalance tilts upwards. Short-term trendiness is present. Okay. I see where it's like looking at the trend as well. Odds are strong after shrinkage and persists. Positive economics after cost. Okay. So only if all the above guards pass volatility. Okay, when short is triggered, basically the opposite of that, I would assume. Okay, in short, sustained aggressive flow to one side, supportive order book, microstructure, acceptable spread volatility, and EV beats cost. Only then do you see the trade fire. Okay. So that's good and all. Now this is where it gets into, I have a bunch of downloaded data that I could, in theory, backtest with the high frequency data. And I've had trouble. Oh, actually I could push it to the, okay, we can do something with it. So this is the problem. Like it's gonna be rare. Okay, here. I got it. Can you make a script called alpha.py that looks at the alpha stats and tells us if the strategy is working well and is predicting price action and overall give us max data on performance for me to give to you. So a single copy pastable data file for you to read non-human readable query. All right. So this is like the ultimate data analysis, right? We're essentially collecting high frequency data on my indicators. So we're getting the timestamp, we're getting the mid, we're getting the spread, we're getting all sorts of data. Because at the end of the day, you take that high frequency data, you just run it through some math, and you basically create a number, and these numbers need to line up for the decision engine to trigger a trade. And you want to see, like, I think it should be, I feel like I would long this, but maybe it's seeing some sort of resistance. I don't know. Looks like a long. Yeah. Yeah, long it. Right? See, price action tried pushing down. Well, either way, we'll get this script too. Because it might be thinking that, oh yeah, of course that'll happen, but then the math is a little off and they'll never align up, and we shall see. Okay, alpha summary. Yeah, there's no paper trade data though. Alpha py. All right, now we will open a new terminal. Okay. Bam. What do you think about that? It's a giant. So it wanted JSON data, but all right, so that is the way to make the strategy. Okay. The alpha is real, but teeny. Oh no. At 1 to 2 seconds, you have a solid classifier. Okay, AUC is roughly 0.67, correlated. Okay, not tradable as taker. Median round trip cost floor. Well, okay. It might be way overestimating how much it would cost to market order. While toy raw edge is only 1 bips, but you'll bleed. Okay, read on your run. You're variegated. Okay, protectiveness. What to change? Relax the guards. Reduce the implied fees. And let's get this strategy printing trades. Full code files for effects. We're gonna just like relax what, like, the guards that it has, because most of the time I'm not, like, it doesn't cost that much to just market order. It's not costing me like $10. It costs me, I mean, more, like basically $1, if not. So I don't know what it's talking about, but we'll continue to measure this. What did I get here? Okay, we're done with that script. All right, we're getting some good, we have some good indicators here. We're going to have to enhance the math at some point, so. All right, let's see what frequency that. Well, there are rate limits. The number work. Okay, blah, blah. Doesn't say. Oh, the platform boasts a median block latency of approximately 200 milliseconds and all on-chain activities, including order book updates. Okay. So interesting. Yeah, with Hyperliquid, there's all this weird blockchain aspect to it, which it was designed for low latency, but okay, so the both mean okay, approximately 200 milliseconds and all on-chain activities, including order book updates, trades, within these rapid block times. Okay. This suggests that market data is transmitted. All right, so 200 milliseconds. So this actually could be useful information for when I'm trying to, because I did download a bunch of their data from their server, and I need to like clean it in order to use it, and it's having a lot of trouble with that because you need to like align the data properly. So this 0.2 second block latency probably lines up with that. But that's good to know. Okay. And we'll give it those two. We'll just see what Grok thinks like the best trading strategy is ever. All right. Yeah, we're gonna stop this. We are going to update config. We kind of just like lowered the thresholds here. We aligned it to be a little bit more relaxed in taking its trades. Right? It could take a bunch of trades. It's okay. It's okay. It's just paper. We'll just see if it's even working at that point, because I want to see it make a trade. Right? If it doesn't make a trade, I don't know that part of the code works. So, shoot, I forgot what was this code. This was features. Okay. Strategy. Is strategy done? That's the question. No. All right, we're going to delete this. Well, we'll run the alpha one more time. Python. Well, okay. So that's the same. Well, is it the same? No idea. Is that the same? Oh, okay. It probably is the same. All right, backing out of that. Let's just double check. Yep, exactly. So we can delete that. Oh wait, okay. Are those all hype? No, 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 no. So Franklin, those this. So here's kind of the flow, right? None of this is AI, by the way. I'm not using AI in the script. Like I said, we're focusing on traditional math. Um, so what you're looking at is essentially so this file, the alpha stats, right? We're recording the raw feature engineering. So every time the order book and the tick level data comes in, we're running math. We're running our features. We're basically creating trading indicators on this math, like an RSI, like a exponential moving average, but at such a more granular detail. So essentially, you're taking in that raw WebSocket data. I'm creating just numbers that mean something, right? For example, we have the timestamp here. We're going to have all of these other ones, right? The H up, the H down, the HTOT, sigma bips, burst, POS, all these sort of numbers, which is my feature engineering. And this is what gives it the predictable aspect to my feature. So when you do feature engineering, you're trying to do math to show some sort of edge into the future. So for example, order flow imbalance is known to predict price action like 300 milliseconds into the future because it can see the order book go away and then the market order is coming in, and then it'll probably stop where that order book is positioned. So what you're looking at is just the feature engineering, the raw data that's being output, and then this data is going to be input. Yeah. So it's basically the same. It's just way more data because you're dealing with the high frequency data. All I'm doing is feature engineering, and then I'm taking those features and then running that through a decision engine and then making a trade. It's not that crazy hard, but when you're able to give this data directly to the AI, then it knows so much more. Like it can read this and be like, oh, no wonder we're not making trades, is because this, and this is happening. I couldn't read this. But, and also this is too big to give to Gemini. So I make a script that summarizes this data, right? So it's all about token and knowledge compression so that I can give eyes to the project to the AI. So there are certain ways that I work specifically just for the AI, right? Now, I'll probably end up changing the features to make this data more predictable, or have those features be more predictable and better to use. So that's what I was prompting over here. So I want the holy grail quant. I want the holy grail quant strategy. So I basically give the AI my system specs, right? Windows 11, Python 3.1, 3.6. I got CUDA 12.9. I got my CPU, got my GPU, and I got my RAM. That lets it know, okay, I can build a very sophisticated strategy. We have a GPU, and then it just knows what to do. It knows what, since I gave it that data, the other data before, it kind of pulled from that. And yeah, it just kind of layered some in. At the end of the day, you're just layering in different math and you're trying to create this vector signal to make a trade. So when they all line up, it makes a trade. But right now, in what's wrong with my code, there's a live paper here, is that it's too strict. The data is not lining up the way it thought it was. And we're relaxing some of those parameters. So hyper parameters, I feel like that means AI. Like a checkpoint file, like it's weights and biases. Not too sure if that's what you meant, but yeah, that it's not as complex as it looks, but it's pretty simple. I'm like just copy pasting and guiding it in the right direction. I can tell it's not working because it wasn't making any trades. It was pretty simple. Like the output of this should be, oh, it hit that trade. Okay, that looks good. And I'm looking at the price action too. So I'm like, oh, that looked like a good trade. It should have been buying here, selling here, shorting here, buying there. So, yep, it's too easy. This is the most simple but most complicated thing you can do. It's really, really exciting because AI has just unleashed the power. Okay. Yeah, so hyperparameters, I do have a file for configuration. So you can see here, this file would be kind of what you're talking about, right? But it's this is my parameters that you would tune. So let's say I got everything else dialed in, then I can kind of mess with these hyperparameters or this configuration file. Yeah. So this is that's what you're probably talking about, but actually it's beyond this too. Like my all my code needs to be changed. So everything needed to be changed in order to relax. Yep. No, I see what you're saying. Yep. So let me just make sure I got all this stuff down here. And then we'll rerun it again. What was the strategy? Okay, we got strategy. All right, that looked like that was good. We got features. Okay. Yeah, see there, it was 5 relaxed sample requirement. Okay. So in general, it's going to hopefully make some trades. Let's see. We'll delete this. We're gonna rename this alpha just 1 because I'm gonna make a list of a bunch of different alpha files. Paper trades, I can just delete it because something maybe change there. And then we're going to run the script, see if it worked. Okay. Okay, and yeah. And now we're immediately started trading. All right. Cool. We're in a trade. I don't know what it took. What did it take here? It was going long. It went long. All right, cool. We'll run it for a little bit. We'll keep an eye on it. Now what I can do is now that I know this is kind of the flow, this is my way forward when designing algorithms. It's this sort of flow, right? We have these files, all these files will change eventually, right? The math can be different, but at the end of the day, I want to collect high frequency data about I want to see the feature engineering at high frequency. And then I want to be able to compress that feature engineering into the alpha report so that I can show the AI, oh, is the math doing what it's supposed to be doing? And then, of course, I'm going to show it the trades. Like, hey, okay, now that you have the alpha report and you see the trades, now we need to align everything up and tune it to where it's more profitable. So you can see we're down. I want to say that now what I can do is, so every trade it takes, it could be overestimating the slippage. It could be overestimating the fees that it's paying, which is fine, but maybe it just did lose in general. All right, let's see what's going on here. All right, so it went long. I mean, that looks like the right move, right? It's somehow new. It could just have been random though too, so we can't really. It should be long. So it's been trying to go long, but I guess it hits. So it's just been spamming long. Let's see. So yeah, we're down like $4, probably just from fees. Okay. I'm intrigued to see where this goes. I mean, I could let this run, could spin up another. Yeah, I could do that. Let's this run. We'll spin up another project. We'll let this collect data, and maybe you can get a nice trade and go back to positive. Okay, so now I would assume it's seeing sort of resistance here. But it's still long. But those trades were, it just got eaten by fees. All right, let's see what's going on here. Let's just do that. Okay. Got 743. All right, we're good. We're good. We're gonna let this run for a second. I'm gonna grab some food real quick from the fridge. Be right back. 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 All right. Let's check what's going on. We're going to analyze what we've seen so far. Make sure this thing's still working. Hey. Oh, Wonder. Wonder, my man. You joining the live? Ate some cereal. All American grinder. All right, let's do this. All right, we're going to analyze the data. Okay. Yep. Let's get into the quant dev stuff. we had one guy really enjoy it. I don't know if Franklin's still here. I'm on TikTok Live and YouTube right now, but no one's really watching on TikTok. Crushing it. You up from your nap now? Is this wakey time? All right, I've been running the strategy, dude. And we're gonna see if it's profitable. Let's see. Okay, we took longs. But it stopped trading after that. Okay. So we will I'm gonna go on my fasting. High fiber cereal. We got tomato and cucumber. Yeah. All right. This is where it gets deep here. No, it's not part of the Brian Johnson. That's part of my leftovers from my salad making stuff. So yeah, I use like tomato, cucumber, and like blend it up. That's like a salad dressing with olive oil. Technically, it's Brian Johnson approved, but I do need to re-up on my vitality mix. All right, we're gonna run the alpha report and get the data here. Yeah, Wonder, you ready to learn some quant dev? I did do a video where I reviewed this product and I got a referral from that, so I got a free vitality mix one time. But I don't know if I still have his I don't know if I'm still his affiliate. I wish I did that. That was great. It was free $50. But we need to focus here. This is very quant deving is very involved. I need to know exactly what I'm telling the AI here. All right, we did that. And we did these trades here. I'm just going to be like review the performance. Review the performance and suggest improvements. You ain't going to see this anywhere else. Best quant dev alive. You got to put in the hard work. Right. We'll see what AI thinks here, but for the most part, I think this is a good structure to have for my trading algo. It'll be good. So if you go back to the other live streams, I've dabbled in my own AI algorithm. So right now we're focusing on traditional math, CPU and GPU based trading algorithms. Got a name of Skynet. No, and then I'm moving on. Once I have like a solid traditional algorithm, then I'm going to go and make my own custom neural network trading algorithm. But it's more black box style. It's a totally different workflow. You need to train it on this sort of data, then you need to inference it, and then you need to retrain it. It's a whole thing. But it's a much longer process. This is a quick iteration. I can get something profitable like right now, basically. All right, I lost $3. Okay. 0 wins, 5 losses. So, okay. So cost versus edge. Your gross edge per trade at a short horizon sub beeps. Okay. 4 bips. It's unrecoverable at 1 to 5 seconds unless you capture spread. Hmm. 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 You know what? We're going to use this as scaffolding. Make the algo better. Okay. We got Grok in here. Hmm. Yeah, but I get that. Hmm. Okay. Over-engineered. Oh, the issue. Hmm. Okay. Now the cracks are starting to appear here. So it was like insta getting out of the trade. So there needs to be some sort of hold on to the trade. If it was longing there, it would have been profitable because it essentially broke out of that. Wait, I'm still okay. Cool. I'm still recording that. Hmm. Okay. I'm tempted to show it. We'll do a snip. We'll do new. We'll do that. We'll run the alpha, Python alpha again. Maybe that will give it a little bit more understanding. Okay. seems to have worked. So my alpha report is doing exactly what it needs to. It essentially condenses this whole thing and says, hey, this is where the algorithm is going wrong. This is why the trades are not getting executed properly. All right. All right, we will get another project spun up here to to iterate. Whoa. All right. So what we're doing here now, okay, we're gonna get features. We're also gonna start up a new. It's looking bullish there. Looking bullish. We're gonna do new folder. We call it Algo 1. This will be our first iteration on my new scaffolding. We will make a new environment. This is as simple as it gets. All I have is VS Code. I just get the environment going, click enter a couple times, bam, now my computer can run Python code. Okay. Open up this. I'm going to, I'm just going to steal all of the files and do that. Going to steal all files, copy, bam. Okay. So before we get into Algo 1, we need this guy to finish. But we can, that's live paper, Algo 1. Live paper should be over here too. Okay. This was features. Features good. Was a strategy. Okay, we got strategy. Okay. It looked like config. Boom. All right. Now this should, oof. Okay. And check the router allowed fraction increases. Okay, so it wants me to, I don't necessarily want to run it like that. We will get the alpha report one more time. Okay. We're going to name this alpha 2. Okay, so that was our second iteration. I guess we will delete. All right, wants me to run it like that. So, and check the router a lot. So what just happened there? We'll just run it normally. So okay. So are we making any trades? No. So the burst does look like it's not working. We'll just give it some of the raw data here. And then no trade. So it'll definitely notice that. No trades. I mean, there's not really. Well, it could short here. Maybe. Should have triggered a short. In theory. It's going long. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it closes right away though. It's probably something that's not good. So it is taking trades. It took 2. Okay, so restarting it. Big. Need that in full. All right, is Grok done yet? No, Grok is still going at it. Grok is cooking up something here. All right, we can get Gemini's opinion. Review the alpha Gemini. Review it. So, did I not get the whole thing? No, it should be, yeah. So it definitely picked up some different bugs within the code. So we'll have to reset GPT-5, run it through a couple different AIs and see what they're finding. But we'll get it going. We'll get this tuned up to be profitable. Why does TikTok not see my... Let's see. It says capture cursor. Well, okay. All right. Let's get strategy in there. We'll run this again. Make sure none of that. Okay. Cool. We're going to reset ChatGPT 5. We're going to reset context here. I'm going to... We will review the code again. Then not be in Hyperlquid. No point in that. Okay. So some configuration files that could, in theory, be moved up here, but they're hard-coded into the script. All right, now with Gemini, I can just slam it with as much context. I can copy this whole thing, not worry about it running out. Okay, we're making a bunch more trades, which is cool to see. I'm into it. Any profit? No, we've lost some money, unfortunately. It's like $8. Started with 1,000. Each trade slowly. It does seem to bias longs right now, which would make sense since it's in this sort of uptrend. So, and that's still 1 minute as a very, very bullish. That is late or capturing the peak of a micro move right before it reverts. Interesting. is very good at losing money. Okay. This bot is doing exactly what this program do. Seeing strong. It sees a strong bullish signal. Good. So it somehow knows that it's seeing it. So the thing is, if it actually held on to that trade, it would have been good. Oh, what's up, Chaz? I see you joining. Unfortunately, I got no camera that can go on there. But I'm dual live. Dual. We got the Algo running. Okay. What do we got? What do we got here? Let's just slam it with this. So we're gonna give it that. I'm gonna give it my latency. We're going to give it my system specs. Yep. Okay. And now we wait. Did Grok finish? Grok did finish. So we will super bullish. We're gonna go to Algo 1. So we got utils. So it says no change, but it did change slightly. It did change. Okay, this is strategy. Okay. This is risk. Okay. This is market. Okay, we got main. It's going to be indicators. Got features. Okay, so I might have put some AI in here. I don't know. We'll see. We will see what happened. Just copy this and then see what Gemini has sent. All right. Freaking Grok went straight reinforcement learning, which we're not supposed to do just yet. That's for later. So it makes sense. We'll feed in all of the feature engineering into a reinforcement learning agent, and then that will essentially guide the decision making. But okay, Algo 1 might be bailing. I'm gonna have to bail on Algo. We're going to have to go back to this one. All right, what kind of trades? See, we take 5 trades and then all of a sudden it's just like, nope, we're done. Okay. We are going to give, all right, we're going to make a giant file for Gemini. Okay. So Gemini needs a giant file, needs this data. I'm just going to copy paste the whole thing. Right, we don't need all that live paper. We need latency. We need system specs. So you really can only do this with with Gemini, because I probably couldn't even put that into. Well, I'm gonna try putting in a ChatGPT 5. Yeah. Unfortunately, can't handle that. Can Claude handle it? Can you handle? Okay. No, it can't handle that either. So okay, the model uses a kernel convolution approach where each fourth. Okay. I need to find a way to make this better. So we'll do Python alpha py. All right. We're going to make a new file for GPT-5 that just gives it a little bit of understanding of that, of my latency, and then of my system specs. And then maybe hyper short holding periods. Okay, yeah, 2 to 5 seconds is probably not going to be enough time. Okay. We want to clear this out. Fresh. Okay. All right. We're going to keep pushing this, and we will get a profitable algorithm created. So right now it's seeing the right signals. It saw that it was bullish. However, the decision engine was kind of the weakest link there. It wasn't holding the trade long enough. In theory, if it keeps seeing bullish signals and it knows it entered down here, for example, and then like, okay, we see keep seeing it should hold the trade. Because it should see this uptrend. And yeah. We'll see where this ends up here. But I'll be right back. I'm going to put my retainer back in. BRB. Yeah. Back. Awesome dump. All right, you've already built the most scaffolding needed for longer. All right, I think we're going to, no, we'll keep going to 846. All right. Okay, awesome dump. Most scaffolding needed for longer lived regime. Below our surgical patches, smooth arch. All right, let's get some full code files. Okay. We're gonna end the live here, guys. We'll see y'all later.